Hi, today we're going to be looking at scientific notation. So we looked at significant figures in our last video, and that was a way to write really big numbers in a rounded off way, and scientific notation lets us do the same thing. This time it's going to show numbers though as a decimal between 1 and 10, and they're going to be multiplied back by a power of 10. So that will make more sense when we have a look at the examples. Our large numbers are going to have positive powers of 10, and our really small numbers, or our decimals, are going to have negative powers of 10. So looking at the examples is the best way to do this. So we need to write our numbers as a decimal between 1 and 10. So here, we can't leave it as it is. We're going to say, righto, this is 1.9 times. So I'm going to put a decimal point after the very first number. And it's a big number. It's not a decimal. It's a regular big number. And I'm going to count from where I put the decimal point in to the end of the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I moved 5 places because the decimal point was originally at the end of the number, and I moved it up in between the 1 and a 9, and I moved it 5 jumps. So that becomes the number up in the air. For our second example here, originally the decimal point is at the end of the number. We need to move it up so that it's in between the 4 and the 3, so it becomes 4.3 times 10. How many spots did we move it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it becomes a positive 7 in the air. So 4.3 times 10 to the power of 7. Here, these are our decimal ones. So when we write these, we're going to have a negative power in the air. The decimal point's here at the moment. We need to move it between the 5 and the 4. So it's going to be 5.4 times 10 to the power of negative. Count our jumps. 1, 2, 3. It moved 3 places, so it becomes a -3. Here, we need to put our decimal point between the 8 and the 7. So it will become 8.74 times 10 to the power of minus, because it's a decimal pointy one that we're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places that moved from where it was to where it ended up. So to the power of -5. So that's how you write a number in scientific notation. The other thing we need to be able to do is the reverse, which is to write the number back in normal decimal form. So if we've been told that we're going to write 3.29 times 10 to the power of 4 in normal decimal form, you probably can just put that in your calculator and it will give it to you. Or you can say, I've got to move my decimal point 4 places to make this a bigger number. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to have the 3, the 2, and the 9. And then there's 2 more spots that need to get filled in. We fill those 2 spots with 0. And so our answer is 32,900. Here, we're going to make this a bigger number because it's a positive power. We're going to move our decimal point 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have our 9 and our 1. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra spots that needed to get filled in. And you fill them in with zeros. So 9,100,000 is that number in normal decimal form. Here we've got a negative power in the air, -3. So this means it's a decimal. So we're going to be moving our decimal place up that way. It's going to become 0.00, the 2 and the 5. To fill that one in. This one here, a -5. So again, we're going to shift our decimal places up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will become 0.00058. The other thing you can get asked to do is to use your calculator to put things in and to get an answer for them. when we put in a times 10 to the power of button, I've got a times 10 to the power of X button. Other people will have an EXP button. And when you do it on your calculator, you should get either something that looks like this, I hope that comes off, something that looks like this, or it may write it in a different form. It might have times 10 and a little box up in the air, but you need to do it so that you use this time scientific notation format. So we're going to put brackets, 6.5 times 10 to the power of 6, close my brackets, times, open some more brackets, 2.2 times 10 to the power of -2. So I need to look for my -2 button. And I get 143,000. If your calculator screen gives you an answer, oh, didn't like that one, with a times 10 in it. Then it would be handy if I could show you, but sometimes it just has a little times 10 written beside it. My calculator doesn't seem to want to do it in scientific notation mode. If you get an answer and you're not sure what to do, you can always send me a message. I hope that makes sense. Have a go at the exercise and see how you go.